Thank you for joining me this morning and welcome. How many of you have ever watched The Apprentice? Well, this morning, my guest is an NBC Apprentice star and a former NFL player whose name is Chris Valletta. Chris is also the author of a new book, Teamworks, the Gridiron Playbook for Building a Championship Business Team. And he is with me this morning to talk about some of the things that are the most important in building a championship team in business. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. But before we talk about your book, I know that's what we're here to do, but I want to talk about The Apprentice.
Okay.
Why in the world did you decide to be that abused in your life?
You know, I have no idea, but I took enough abuse on the football field that I figured why not take a little bit more from Donald Trump.
How long were you on for?
So I had the luxury of getting fired, but thank goodness I was not fired on the first episode. So that was all my only goal was don't get fired on the first episode.
So you
Try to win it, but if you're going to get fired, get fired after the first one. So I achieved that, but I got fired on the second episode, believe it or not.
All right. Is the Donald as tough as he seems to be in real person?
His business is extremely tough. He is an extremely tough individual when it comes to business. But I will tell you this, what you see on television and what you read in the papers about him, a lot of it's true. He is a bigger-than-life personality, there's no doubt. However, he is a tremendous person in terms of just his altruistic side. He has been so nice and helpful to me in my business career. We've stayed in touch over the years. Matter of fact, he wrote the foreword to my book, and that was something he had offered to do, which was tremendous of him to do. And his contribution was incredible. He's given me quotes. He's just been a huge resource and a huge ally to me in my career, and I can't say enough good things about him.
Even though he fired you?
Even though he fired me, and even though he definitely needs a new haircut, I would say we're in good shape.
All right, one more question before we talk about team building or teamworks. Who did you play for in the NFL?
So first of all, I played college football at Texas A&M University. And
Why wouldn't I know that?
They are my guys. But I had the fortune of playing for 3 NFL teams, the Tennessee Titans, the New Orleans Saints, and I finished my career as a member of the eventual 2002 Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it was a lot of fun.
Just brag a little bit. How awesome was that?
Well, I don't want to do that. I mean, I am so lucky and blessed to have been able to play the game. And, I think what's unique about my career in athletics is it has led to everything I've experienced in business, and that's what I've applied in this new book.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this new book, which is actually a business development book. Now, what makes your book different from the other millions of business books out there?
Sure. I mean, first and foremost, I wrote this book specifically for entrepreneurs, executives, sports fans who want to learn how to apply the principles that leaders of championship sports and business teams, how they use those skills in sports teams to achieve massive success in their organization and business. So this is quite literally a playbook where I take athletic principles, athletic methodologies, athletic skill sets, and I show you how to apply those exact same skill sets into your business. So just like we're given a playbook before every single football game or before every single athletic event, this book is quite literally a playbook that says do the same things that championship teams and championship athletes do, apply them into your business, and you'll achieve massive success, and it'll happen instantly. And I say that because, of course, in business, you're not in knocking heads with other people, at least not in my business. I'm not. Maybe in some other companies you butt heads with people, literally. But and of course the fields are different, but the game is the same. I mean, you are every bit as much in the trenches in business as you are on a football field. And what I do is I parallel the same qualities that athletes use to achieve success on the football field. I parallel those in the business world, and I show how if you leverage those qualities, you will change. You will change overnight. Your organization will change overnight, and you'll achieve incredible success. When I entered the business world out of playing in the NFL as an entrepreneur, I noticed almost instantaneously that my skill set was far above that of people who had been in the workforce for 5 or 10 years. And that's because I had a keen understanding of how team dynamics truly work. I understood how focusing on the little things, the little minute details, can benefit so greatly in sports. And I noticed that if you did the same thing in business, you would literally start making leaps and bounds advancements over your competition or over the people that are on similar levels as you.
But Chris,
and that's what this book is designed to do.
But Chris, as I watch athletes, and I've been in athletics most of my life too, the work ethic that an athlete or a coach has is far superior to most people. Don't you think that has a lot to do with it?
There's no question. I cover that in depth in the book as well. The work ethic and the team commitment that is required of an athlete is something that can only truthfully be experienced if you've played sports. And I think for the most of us, most everybody has played some type of sport or been involved in some type of competitive activity that has required a work ethic, that has required a dedication, that's required a discipline and a desire to be the best. And what's unique about that mentality is that you begin to learn in athletics that the difference between a team that wins is very different than a winning team. And that is so important to get across because a team can have a roster of all of the best players in the universe. A business can have a roster of the top business minds in the universe. However, if that group does not know how to properly work together and properly build each other up and support each other and work in tandem to achieve an end goal, they won't achieve the same amount of success as a group made up of not necessarily the best players, but the right ones. And I make that distinction in the book very clearly, that your team needs the right players before it needs the best ones. And the right ones certainly have a character and a mindset that is team first, everything else second.
Well, that is easy to talk about, but that might be one of the most difficult things to do in team building. And there are so many strategies. I'm looking so forward to reading your book. I've been talking this morning to Chris Valletta, the author of Team Works. And this is Barbara Dooley for Georgia's Morning News.